Hi class, for section 2.5, one of our goals is to be able to make a dichotomous key, and it has to include 8 organisms. So if we take a look, I'm just going to skip down to what I wrote about the assignment. So your goal is to bring in information about 8 organisms, including a picture and some basic facts. Um, I'm going to give you some examples, but all of the organisms should be fairly well or fairly similar. So they're all turtles, or they're all trees, or they're all insects. They're somehow quite similar, okay? Just because that's what you're going to see on the IB exam. So to start this out, what I would do is open a place just to save the information. Whoops. So we're going to, I would just use Google Slides. So I'm going to open a Google Slide, show. All right, slowly, slowly. All right, perfect. And maybe I will ESS key 8 organisms. And we want to be specific, so we're going to be trying to include 8 different species. I'm going to change the layout real quick. So I'm going to try and use a layout kind of like this. Okay. And like I said, your goal is just to come up with similar organisms. So really, the reliability of websites shouldn't be an issue for this type of activity. So if you're interested in just looking things up, you could write like turtles. Oops, sorry, turtles of Europe. Okay, and if you do that, you actually will get, I guess, some lists. So it says list of reptiles in Europe. Okay, turtles of Europe. All of these things should be fine. And then from there, you can kind of pick and choose the different organisms that you want. So you might want to click on a few, make sure that they look interesting to you, etc. And we're trying to gather basic facts. So I am going to use some large hoofed mammals in the United States, or well, North America. So I'm going to start on this site. So this is National Geographic, and I can look up some basic information about the organism. So I'll start with the American bison. Okay, I'm going to essentially just copy the information. So I'm copying, pasting the information there. I want to have a picture so I can look at it. And then the facts. So American bison, here's some good information. Now, if I get this information, just so that you know, I will probably need to do some unit conversions a little bit later because this is pounds and feet, and we'll want to use the metric system. But that's not a big deal. Google can help us with that. All right, perfect. And then I don't want to just be taking stuff, so I'm going to copy this website so that I know where I got it, and then I can use it as a, oops, not that. I can use it as a reference later. So I think I could probably, I don't know, I could probably just put it right here, actually. That's fine. So I know where it came from. So here's some decent information. I have one fairly decent picture. I could try and, crop it down. Could get a nicer picture. Oh, that was not cropped. That was adjusting the picture itself. Okay, there we go. Perfect, perfect. Okay, and then if I want to, I can use this title bar to write the name. So it is bison, bison, okay, for the scientific name, as silly as that sounds. I don't usually use Google Slides, so there we go, italicized. Oops, I missed a couple. All right, perfect. So then, new slide. All right, again, I'm going to keep with that same layout, I think. And I'm going to try and use this site again. So I'm trying to think of organisms that would live in North America. So maybe I want to look up, let's see, a pronghorn. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this image. Again, just making sure I'm putting all the information together in one location. It doesn't have to be perfect because remember, if I decide I need more information, I can look up more information and then I can just gather those resources as well. So we got this, okay, and then I wanted some basic facts about these organisms. Okay. I'm going to use the scientific names. This is Antilocapra americana. It's like American antelope, essentially, is what it's called, so that's pretty cool. Okay, make it bigger. Bigger still. All right, perfect. And then I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to put together a few more organisms, and then we'll talk about what I have in just a minute, okay? I will be right back. Okay, so now I've made a collection. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are all hoofed animals of North America, and I have some basic information about them, but I want to make sure I leave the website because I probably will need to click on it to get some more information. And keep in mind that you can go to other websites and look up more information as well, or other images, when we're working together in class on Thursday. So this will do for now. You need to have 8, so I came up with, I think, 6 from the same website. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And then I know I can look up a mule deer, and then I can also look up some sort of like goat or sheep or something that I could put on here as well. Now, for you, especially if you're choosing animals you're not familiar with, just make sure that you're listing possible sources of information about them and you get a really good image, because we're going to be using primarily the anatomical features in order to create our own dichotomous key. So make sure you have that information stored for you. So once I have this is looking pretty good. I do want you to print it. Let's see if I can look at our print options. Print settings. Let's see. No preview available. Well, that's boring. So if you could print it such that we have multiple on a sheet, I'm trying to think what would be best. I mean, 4 or 6 probably would be fine. Still no preview available, darn. Okay, so I think 6 per page or 4 per page would be fine. If you want to be bigger, you could do 3 or 2 even, but I think we want to be able to manipulate them, but you want to be able to read the information as well. So try, yeah, like 6 per page, and that way we can have them in class. We can physically move the pieces of information around, which will help us to make our dichotomous key. So you can print them in the library. Make sure they're one-sided because we are going to need to cut them up so we can move things around. Okay? And that'll just help us be prepared for our next class. So remember, this is a required activity. Do not forget it, because after Thursday, we're not going to have more time in class to work on it, and you should be able to leave Thursday with, a good idea of what you need to do, right? And the different parts of it, and I'll have a rubric ready for you on Thursday as well. So let's just make sure that we're gathering good information to start out strong. All right, so that's your assignment. Have fun with it. Choose something you like. You don't have to do mammals. If you want to do something else, oh look, I was looking up this mountain goat. If you want to look at something totally different, I mean, look up, tropical tree frog species or something. Okay, so anything that you want to look up that you think will be interesting, go for it. You might as well. And you'll probably be able to find some really cool information. So look up anything you're interested in, okay? Frogs, reptiles, whatever, fish, right? It's up to you. But just make sure you have the information ready to go for our next class, all right? Okay, have a good day. Have fun with it.